He is never thirsty until I film. Hi guys, what's up? It's me, Audra, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm not sure how you got here, but certainly I'm glad you came. And if you are new here, you're in for a treat. What I have for you today is a get ready with me, and I'm going to show you how I got this look, and we'll hang out and talk about my worst first dates ever to date. Here we go. Today I was out with my mother getting our hair done. I'll just let you... Thanks, Christy. Anyway, we were out getting our hair done and we were wandering around, and then we were in Ulta, and my mother, the queen that she is, bestowed upon her only daughter a new brush from e.l.f. Her only daughter is me. All right, I'm gonna go wash my face and we're going to return, and what we're gonna be talking about today are the worst dates I've ever been on. So strap yourselves in. All right, I'm gonna actually go in with the strobe cream today because I feel like its sun is making a lot of noise. Now, before I get started into these stories, I need you to understand that
I am not a money-hungry whore.
So let me just get that going. I'm not a money-hungry whore. I'm not like, if you don't have any money, I don't like you. That is not. The reason I'm saying that is because both of these stories do, in fact, involve money, but not like, oh, I'm a fucking bitch. Or maybe I am. Who knows? Maybe you guys will let me know at the end of this that I am a horrible human being who just has no appreciation for people. Who knows? We'll find out. But I'm going to tell you the tales, and then we'll go from there, right? Right. Okay. Disclaimer out. Story number 1 takes place in Los Angeles, California. I'm actually going in with my tried and true friend, my tart Amazonian clay, my OG. Takes place in Los Angeles. It's a pretty brush. I'm gonna wait to tell the story until I look at it. It's kind of chunky. Still chunky but funky. It's so pretty. Bitch. All right. Oh. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, this is unexpected. Oh, what you doing, girl? Oh, bitch. I'm gonna do my little dance here. Yes. Gonna get it now. All right, I'm done. Okay, so anyways. Oh, I love it. The story takes place in Los Angeles, circa 2001. At this point, I was dating. I think I had been with this one person, like off and on, for several years. Well, no, I can't remember if I'd met him before or after. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is why I don't tell stories, because they meander in 37 different directions. Anyhow, we're gonna call him Beach Steve. Why not? I meet Beach Steve at the beach, and he's handsome, kind of in like that surfer slacker way, and I was, into that. I don't know, I had this thing for like, just that like chill attitude, like whatever goes, goes. I think I just had commitment issues. Moving on. So I'm hanging out with him, and I'm just like, okay, I talk to him. I'm not hanging out with him. I talk to him, and he's being cute or whatever, and he gets the digits. And I'm like, okay, because that's what we call them then. The digits. He gets my digits and promptly saves them in his fancy-ass phone. It wasn't that fancy. We still weren't really hitting the picture phone point at that time. Anyway, it's all wavy gravy, and I'm like, okay, and I give him my number. I go on about my business. It's fine. It's fine. So then he calls me and asks me out on a date, and I, of course, accepted. Now, remember, this is 2001. Shit was different. I was different. I was a young bitch. So before you start coming for me, just remember, I was 21. So I happily accept to go on this date with a veritable stranger because before then we weren't frightened and we did actually meet people like out in the world, so that was also a different part of the story. Like it wasn't online, it was in the world. So I accept, I get ready, and I drive to some restaurant that he has picked out. I go into restaurant. Restaurant looks a little shishi, but I'm excited. I'm going on a date. I'm going to be treated like a motherfucking lady. And I'm pretty excited about that. I'm like, yay, I'm going to be treated like a lady. It's going to be awesome. And with that being said, I'm, smiling and I meet him. The waitress seats us, and I'm still feeling very like, yes, bitch. And then the menus come. Now, up until this point, we've been talking and kind of smiling and laughing, and I was thinking, like, he's all right. Really, I was thinking he's not as cute as I remembered. I feel like I was drinking for some reason, but I could be wrong. And also, I had a weird habit of, like, when I met someone, I would think that they looked one way, and I don't know what happened between when I met them and then, like, when I saw them again, but something mysterious always happened, and I was always like, you're not as cute as I remember you being. Like, why did I remember you being more attractive? Anyhow, I just, not to say he wasn't attractive, I just thought he was more attractive than, he was attractive.
I'm digging myself a hole.
Moving on. So we were talking, we're having a good time. The menus come. This is okay. I could already tell this is LA. This kind of shit, I mean, when I tell you that this man, he was a man, and I'm going to say man because Beach Steve was significantly, like not significantly older than me, but he was older than me. Like Beach Steve was older than me. And I was just like, okay, we're just going to do this thing, like, and I refused to date guys my age at that time because I felt like they were all confused, and it turns out maybe like I was confused. Anyhow, Beach Steve, menus come, and Beach Steve proceeds to loudly exclaim at the prices. Like, embarrassingly loud. Like, I had to duck my fucking head loud. Like, I'm really glad that I was fucking smart and ate before I came on this date because I didn't realize that this was gonna be a thing. Now, before you come for me being like, you ate before your date, listen, that was in 2001 when we pretended we didn't eat food. We're like, I'm just gonna have this little piece of lettuce. That's how we lived our lives then, y'all. No joke. Like, women, we were doing dumb shit. We were really out in the street doing some really, really dumb shit. And one of them was pretending that we weren't hungry. Now I'll mug the fuck down. Like, don't ask me out on a date if you want a bitch who doesn't eat, because you are gonna get surprised. So anyhow, he's exclaiming loudly, and I'm getting like more than a little bit humiliated. Because he's just like, dang, this is really expensive for this. And I'm like, ugh. So I just order soup like a good girl. Embarrassed. And I'm just like so fucking humiliated that this guy is like, like, why did you take me out on a date? The thing was, here was the thing that killed me about this. Okay? He said, I'm coming back to it because he chose the place. And then when we were sitting down to eat, like to sit at our table and be real, like I felt like a fairy princess. It was so nice. I was like, ooh, this is a nice place. He's being a gentleman. And then that happened. He said he had never been there before. I was like, bitch, why did you? Okay, I understand that we weren't like Googling our lives at this point in time. However, you could call a restaurant and ask them like questions. How much is your fucking food would be a question. So it was like, oh no! My life is over. I had an accident. I don't know if you can see it, but it's my highlighter, and it fell on the ground. And I picked it up with a spatula, and we're gonna see if this works. It works enough. I got it back in there. Listen. We'll get back to the story. I'm sorry. I'm excited. My life is no longer over. Everything's good now. Okay. So the thing that really got me about this was I just thought, like, why would you go to a restaurant and, like, not know, like, their food prices? Like, why would you do that? Why would you not know that? That just weirded me the fuck out. Like, why would you not have any fucking, like, you invited me here. You did. You invited me to this restaurant that you apparently didn't fucking vet. And now you're upset that everything's expensive. And now I have to eat soup because apparently you don't have any money. And I don't. This was before Dutch was a thing, also. This was back when you were like really, like, you went on dates. You went on dates. Let's get the rest of this up. I was gonna do my brows off camera, but then I realized I got this whole ass like brow kit from Influencer, and it's Anastasia, Beverly Hills, ABH shit. So I'm gonna fuck with this. I got me a brow definer, triangular brow pencil, hoop. So let's see what happens. Dark brown. Let's hope they do this shit right, because I'm so fucking tired of dark brown not actually being dark brown. Like, it's dark brown for some people, but it's not dark brown for me. All right, let's get in. Ooh, okay, bitch. Oh, it is triangular as fuck. All right. So I'm just thinking to myself, okay, and I'm going through the rest of the date, and I'm trying to like smile and laugh. And again, this is the time when you didn't go Dutch. If a guy asked you out, like he was getting dinner. This looks fucked up. He was getting dinner. Like that was the case. He was gonna be the one getting the dinner. This is weird. And you know, that's how it worked. Like that was patriarchy. I don't care. I was hungry. I was a broke college student. It doesn't matter. The point to the matter wasn't that he didn't have the money. It was just that, like, if he'd asked, like, literally, I would have just been like, we can go to Fat Burger because they had the best turkey burger and they cooked it on a separate grill, which was life to me. All right. So anyhow, I was like, I don't like this. So I'm just kind of just trying to get through this date because now at this point I'm embarrassed. Things are weird. This brush is weird as like this is weird as fuck. It's so hard to do anything with. I'm just gonna try to use one side of it. It was just super awkward, and I was just trying, and he just kept like saying shit about the price of everything. This is horrible. Saying something like all throughout the and it fucking broke. Are you serious? I hate this thing. Okay. Ugh. And then when the bill came, like I was really like, I actually did just, I think at the time I may have tried to come up out of my pocket. I can't really remember, but I think I may have because I was just like let's just let this go, you know? And I'm like ready to leave and end this date. I gotta do something about my eyebrows because they're hideous, and I'll be back. This is literally one of those days where the brows are just going to do whatever the fuck the brows do. I'm not going to get mad about it. I'm just, you know what? I'm not even doing anything extra special today. We're just getting ready because I'm going to go hang out with my mom. I'm going to go run some more errands. I know I already hung out with her, but we're going to do it again. It's so nice living near my mom. All right. So I did think I almost came up out of my pocket because I just wanted the date to end because it was horrible. It was horrible. There's not another word for it. It was just one of the most horrible things. And I just felt super awkward and strange, and I just hated it. I was just, like, the whole time in my mind, I just kept being like, why did you pick this place? Why didn't you do some fucking research? You know, like, that was my thought process. Like, why couldn't you have just researched it and, like, called them, and then, like, we wouldn't have gone there. We could have gone to Fat Burger or something. I would have bought my own meal. Like, I don't give a shit, dude. So, anyway, I'm like, okay, the meal is over, we're gonna leave, and I'm feeling it. I'm like, good, we're gonna leave, I can go the fuck home. I still have time to go get some drinks and like have a good time. Because certainly I was not having a good time at this point in time, obviously. But no, Beach Steve, are we calling him Beach Steve? Beach Steve, because honestly I don't remember his name. But Beach Steve then is like, hey, you want to go out dancing, and 21-year-old me, didn't know how to properly say, like, no thank you, and just like, you've done enough. Actually, you know, my inner bitch didn't really cry out like she does now. Now my inner bitch would be like in the restaurant, like, listen. And I would have just left before I ordered anything. I would have left. I would have been like, no thanks, I'm good. I'm not this hard up, damn. Anywho, I'm like, okay. So I can't remember if I followed him in my car or if we took my car and then I drove him back to his car. I really don't remember the details of it, but now we're in the club. And actually at that time it really was. So it really was that, finding me in the club, bottle full of bub, and that's what was happening there. And I really was just in this mood where I was like, ugh, ugh. So we're hanging out and I feel like kind of weird because I'm like, oh, there's nothing, we're not drinking anything. So finally I just go up to the bar and I'm like waiting and I'm trying to get a drink. And Beach Steve comes up and is like, get me a beer too, will ya? And I'm like,
Fucking Beach Steve.
First of all, the date, I don't know what he was thinking was happening on this date. Like, I feel like he thinks that this date was fucking fire. Like, that's what I think. I think he was like thinking like things are going well. And I'm over here just like, this is a horror show. Like, this is a nightmare. Somebody fucking rescue me. But I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna calm down. So I get the drink and I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It's fair. Get him a beer, but it wasn't fair because he sucks. So, not fair in a way where it's like, I'm having a good time fair. This isn't fair. This is horrible and I hate it. So I'm just like trying really hard to like be calm and chill and relax and like, not be a super bitch and like, maybe dancing. Dancing was wrong. He could not dance, but he thought he could dance. And he kept, this was back when we used to like do that little booty shake and guys would like, and I think that he thought that he was like being sexy or some shit. It wasn't sexy. He kept trying to hold my waist. I wasn't into it because I wasn't into him and I didn't want him to touch me. So, and I honestly, to be like, if I'm going to be completely honest, I don't like being touched all that often. It kind of freaks me out sometimes. So I am exceedingly upset right now. And I'm like trying to calm myself down. I'm like, well, it's okay, like one beer, like I can't be a bitch, it's 2001, be part of the solution, girl, not part of the problem. So I'm just like sitting here, just like, okay, I don't want to dance anymore. He's terrible at it. What else can I do? And he's just annoying me. And he kept trying to like go in for like that kiss, and I was not, no, get your lips away from me, Steve. No, Beach Steve. So anyway, I am not having a good time. And I go up and I'm like thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom and like regroup and figure out how to get out of this date. And in the bathroom, I look obviously perturbed. And so what happens is this girl in the bathroom is like, are you okay, honey? And I then proceed to unload like the whole horror of my date on them, just being like, it's awful. He's horrible. He made me buy him a beer and I hate him. And they're like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And they also agree that he's terrible and that, he should have done some research on the fucking date venue. So I'm like trying to be chill. I'm trying, everything that I can. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to sneak up. Like, since he thinks I'm in the bathroom, I'm going to sneak off, have one more beer, and then, I can have an excuse for leaving. I can be like, I'm going to leave. So I'm up there and I'm like sneaking around. And when I tell you that I'm like furtively looking like, and just as the bartender comes to get me my beer, who should arrive but Beach Steve wanting another beer? And I get him a fucking beer and I'm just like, I'm getting angrier. If that's even possible for me to get more angry than I am. So anyhow, I'm angry and I'm just like downing my beer and I'm being silent and he's all like, I guess he thinks things are going well because he's still talking. So I finally muster up the courage to just be like, I have to go. And Beach Steve is like, oh, okay, well, why don't I come hang out with you? Again, my nose were just not where they needed to be. And I'm just like, okay. And I tried to like be like soft, like softly being like, well, it's like you can't really, I mean, like we took separate cars. I really think that we took separate cars. But anyhow, um, I don't remember if we took separate cars or not. That's neither here nor there. The point is, we get to my apartment, and I am unexcited about it. And I'm just like, okay, listen, you're gonna have to go when my food comes because bitch was hungry because I didn't get to eat dinner. So I'm like, you're gonna have to go when my food comes. And he's like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, ugh. I'm just sitting in my apartment with a fucking weird guy waiting on my Thai food to arrive. Now I know this sounds super dangerous, and it probably was. I was young and silly, and we're not going to talk about that aspect of the date right now. We're going to get to the next phase of this date. So the next thing that happens is my food comes, and I'm like, hey, Beach Steve, you've got to go. Like, my food's here now. It's time for you to, like, skedaddle. Beach Steve is doing that fucking bullshit where he's pretending he's asleep. I fucking hated that. That was such a 2000s thing where guys would just pretend like they were like too tired to leave your home. And it was super annoying. Like if girls did the same thing, they were like stage 5 clinger. However, if they did it, it was fucking fine. It was like how they were gonna get to like, I guess maybe you would just be like, maybe we'll have sex. No. So I'm getting like nervous because my food is here. Beach Steve is doing that pretending to sleep thing, and I don't know what to do. So I duck into and sneak into my bathroom. Yes, I said sneak. Why did I sneak in my own house? Because he was being weird and I'd never encountered a situation like this. So I duck into my bathroom and I call my mom. Yes, you heard me. I called my mom. Now, when I tell you that my mom was in Texas at this time, while I was in California, I'm calling her, it's like 12 something my time, which to her is 2 something. So, of course, my mom pops up on the phone like, baby, what's wrong? Are you okay? And I'm like, Mom, this guy I went on a date with, he's in my house. He won't leave. And she's like, what do you mean he won't leave? I'm like, I told him he had to leave after I got my food, and my food's here, and he won't leave. She's like, Audra, you just tell him to leave. I'm like, I tried that, but he just pretended to sleep. I'm like, girl, she goes, well, girl, just get him up and tell him he has to leave. I'm like, okay, I'll call you back. Now, my mom wasn't having that. She was like, you ain't calling me back. You keep me on the phone. So I'm like, okay, I will keep you on the phone. So I have my mother on the phone, and I walk out there and I start poking Beach Steve. I'm like, Beach Steve, you have to fucking go, dude. And Beach Steve is, again, trying that bullshit where he's like, I'm sleepy, I'm so sleepy, I'm sleeping. And I'm like, Beach Steve, get the fuck up and get out of my house, okay? Okay? And Beach Steve doesn't seem to be having that shit right now. He's just kind of on this tip where he doesn't think that he has to leave. And I start getting mad. And also, with my mom on the phone, my courage is bolstered. So my lips look so chapped. Anyway, they're not, but because of the highlighter and it's hot. So I am like freaking out and I just go, get the fuck up. You have to get out of my house. And then he's like, you don't have to be rude. I'm like, I'm not being rude. You said you would leave and you haven't left. Pause for eyeliner. All right, eyeliner applied, moving on. And I'm just like pushing and shoving him. I'm like, you need to leave, Beach Steve. Ooh, that rhymes. And I was like, Beach Steve, you got to go. You got to go. You cannot stay here. And my mom's like, that's right, baby. You tell him he got to leave. I'm like, he's got to leave. So I'm like telling him to get out, and he is just not really feeling it. And I am, though. And I'm just like, you got to go, Beach Steve. Like, that's life. Beach Steve then starts kind of, I guess, waking up to the reality that, like, I'm not kidding and I want him to get the fuck out. So he starts just being like, are you serious right now? And I'm like, yes, Beach Steve, I'm fucking serious. Like, get out of my house. Like, out of my house. I don't normally do it this way, but I'm doing something different. And I'm like, get out, Beach Steve. Get out of my house, Beach Steve. I want you to leave. Beach Steve is like arguing with me, and then he calls me the C word. Rhymes with Hunt. I was not amused. I think that I came up out of my skin so fucking fast. I don't even think he expected it. And I was like, what the? Did you call me? And I am not, absolutely not having it. I have now like morphed into some other like dangerous, like really dangerous creature. I don't know what's a koala. Koalas are actually very dangerous. They're cute, but they're dangerous. I morphed into a koala and I was furious. I was like an avenging angel. I was so angry. I shoved him out of my apartment. It was rough. I was like, get the fuck out. And the whole time I'm like cursing him out. Like my mom's on the phone. My mom's on the phone listening to me like yell at this grown ass man and be like, get the fuck out of my house. And, going the fuck off as I do. My mom, as a general rule, I don't curse in front of my mother. But this was a different day. This was a different feel. Things weren't feeling the way that they normally feel in this. And we were having this conversation. I was not having it. Anywho, Beach Steve finally gets out. I slam the door. I'm feeling like a fucking winner. My mom's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm great, Mom. Thank you for your help. Like as I do. And my mom helped to get Beach Steve out of my house from Texas. And that was the end of that date. Now, fun story. He did end up calling me to apologize. And he just like left a voicemail and I was like, and he just apologized for his fucking behavior and for being a fucking dirtbag, which is fine, apologize for being a dirtbag, that's great. But like, it's too late, hon. So yeah, that was my first date my first awful date, and now we have time for the second one, and this one is a lot quicker. Beach Steve. I wonder how Beach Steve is these days. Anyway, it was nice of him to apologize, but Beach Steve, the moral of the story is, when it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. Also, research. I hope he's researching these days. Now we get into my second story, which this happened a couple years ago, and bitch. Okay, so we're gonna call this guy. We're gonna call him Cookie. It doesn't matter. That's what we're gonna call him. So I go out with a guy named Cookie. Listen, guys, we're not gonna talk shit about my dating choices because obviously they're bad. Once again, he invited me for the date. He invited me, and I went on this date, and I really, at this age, I'm used to, dudes not paying. That's not even a question anymore if a guy's gonna pay. I'm so used to it. I'm like, okay. Anyway, I meet him at this bar, and it's a karaoke bar, which I fucking love karaoke, so I was down for that. However, it seemed like it was like a friend hangout, and I really wasn't expecting all his friends and shit to be there, so that was weird. And then we were hanging out, having some fun, and then he, buys me a couple shots, which, good on you, bro. And then we end up going to my karaoke spot because I guess all of his friends were leaving or something went down. I really don't remember because, well, that's how things go. So we go to my favorite karaoke spot at the time and we're having fun. I do some karaoke. We're being kind of cute, kind of cuddly. And he's all right. I'm kind of making decisions about him. I'm like, maybe, maybe not. Tab comes. And I'm prepped because at the first bar I paid my way there. He did buy me some shots, but I still, paid my own tab and bought my own shit. You know what I mean? This is, inner bitch Audra don't be fucking around anymore. She's not all sweet and kind and well, she wasn't sweet and kind. It's just sweet kind Audra was too loud, and now inner bitch Audra is extra loud. So that is how that works. So, you know what I'm talking about, your inner bitch. You know, the one who's like, who gets your shit together for you when you refuse to. So anyway, I was, cool with that and everything. And we get there and it's time to leave. The tab shows up and, and I'd already assumed that they were going to be separate tabs, but the look on his face when she was like coming to bring the tab, she's like, are these together? So he's like, separate. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. I'm in this bitch completely understanding, like, all right, separate tabs, cool beans, like, whatevs. And I was still thinking, like, maybe we might do a little hooking up, maybe we might do a little not like the full but a little like So I'm thinking that we might do a little bit of that, and I'm like feeling good about it. I'm feeling good about it. And then he says,
Oh, they put your beer on my tab.
this beer is $4.75. Fuck yes. This motherfucker's really sweating me for $4.75. I had to do some kind of weird magic trick or whatever to like get that to work out, so that like, because I only had my card, I didn't have a $5 fucking bill. It was just super obnoxious. I had to do all this bullshit. Anyway, the fun part of this is that we have a mutual friend, and the mutual friend was asking me what happened, and I told her, I was like, girl, when I tell you what happened, and I told her about it, she's like, really, over $4.75? I was like, girl, please, I had $4.75, but normal people would just be like, all right. Like, I've bought beer. I've been out with just my friends, and like one of their shots ends up on my tab. I'm not like, oh, your shot's on my tab, bitch. Fucking pay for it. And I'm not gonna go make everybody do these arrangements. I don't know. And I've been to that place a lot of times. So I just wasn't having it. I told her what happened. Ooh, bitch. So then I run into her again, and she tells me that she talked to him and that she admonished him. Here was the thing that kills me about the whole thing and why this was a terrible date. It wasn't just the $4.75. It's the fact that Cookie thought he was going to get some cookie that night. He told her that. Our mutual friend, our MF, he told her that he thought he was going to get some cookie. Not when you're going to hassle me over $4.75. Boy, if you don't get the fuck out of here. He was going to hassle me over $4.75 and then was going to think I was going to sleep with him. It's not going to happen. I have no idea. I don't know what is wrong with these men. This is what killed me. I want to know how they thought the date was going. Like, I want to know. Like, how did you think the date was going well? Just explain it to me. Just explain to me how you thought the date was going so well and we were going to have relations when you came at me for $4.75. Get the fuck out of here. All right, guys. So those are two of my worst dating stories. I will start telling you some more of my like adventures in dating. When I do get ready with me, is they're usually me talking about either horror movies or, my terrible dating track record. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to come in and give you a look at the look. It's okay. It's okay. Yay.
Let me sing. Say, oh, she drop dead gorgeous. If you tryna step up to that bitch, be cautious. Rapping in the mirror, putting makeup on. Now you got an anthem, baby. This your song. Tell him. Yeah, she drop dead gorgeous. Oh, she drop dead gorgeous. Yeah, she drop dead gorgeous. Rapping in the mirror, putting makeup on. Got your lips poppin' and your click poppin' and your shit's poppin', baby, show stoppin'. Yeah, just got that Fashion Nova package and I like it.
All right, guys, that is my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you like how this turned out. Let me know if you want me to start putting what I'm using in the comments. I think that's what people are supposed to do, but I don't do it. All right, if you haven't already, please go ahead and consider subscribing. If I've already made it to 1,000 by now, yay! Thank you all for doing that and joining in. If I haven't, join now. I'm gonna be 40 next month, and I want you to be a part of the party. All right, if you would hit the like button on your way out, so that way I know you enjoyed this. And have a wonderful day. I love each and every one of you. And until next time, deuces!